Okay, thanks again for staying with us as we continue our discussions today on EDO 2020 governorship election. We key off the conversation with the outcome of the flag off of the PDP campaigns, which of course took place on Saturday. But before the campaign flag off, actually, a drama ensued at the King's Square where several people were injured. There was a clash between the two major political party supporters at the King's Square. As is always the case, blames are being traded right now, but I'm sure that the people know who is at fault, who is wrong, who did what in whatever ensued at the King's Square. But let me welcome our panelist. John Yakubu is a member of the PDP. As a matter of fact, in the last election, he was the deputy governorship candidate of the PDP. Many thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, viewers.
I also have with us in the studio Comrade Ebode Godwin, is a pastor, and he will be talking to us from that perspective on the program. Maybe what he can see with the spiritual eyes that many of us can see as far as EDO 2020 is concerned. Pastor Comrade Godwin, many thanks for joining us.
God bless you. Viewers, God bless you.
We also have with us Comrade Barrister Kesley Omerabo, is the National President, Human Rights Defenders Association of Nigeria. Is also the legal advisor of Edo South Campaign Council of the All Progressives Congress. Edo Central, I beg your pardon. Many thanks for joining us, Comrade Omerabo.
Thank you. Good morning, viewers.
Okay, let me start with John. The stage is set for Edo 2020 governorship election. I'm sure that some have said what transpired on Saturday is giving us insight what is likely going to happen in the main election if the videos trending online, some stories making the rounds, are anything to go by. To what extent do you subscribe to this line of reasoning?
Well, I strongly believe that the press, the fourth estate of the realm, must help the people of Edo State. Because these things are well known to you before any other person. There was a build-up, and Sonny Duke, you know this. This build-up was not just yesterday. This build-up has been there for a very long time. Don't forget that the removed national chairman of APC, Adams Oshomule, once told us that the talks in APC are the infantry division. This is not me. This is on national television. And that infantry division is led by a commander. And I'm sure that if Comrade Adams Oshomule will have an infantry division led by a good commander, he will not allow, in all honesty, allow his son to be the commander of that infantry division. But over time, he has introduced to the people of Nigeria, even beyond that, has exported tongue to other states before this election. These are known to the press and to Nigeria. Having said that, and that's why I'm talking about the build-up. Having said that, we've just been inundated recently by persons who told the Edo people that there are tigers and lions across the 18 local government. We must speak the language of democracy. We must begin to practice democracy. We must begin to speak as if we are in a democratic setting. In democracy, you are not supposed to have tigers and lions. In a democratic setting, you are not supposed to have an infantry division led by a commander. And when you talk about infantry, you know, you are aware that when you talk about infantry, you are talking about arms and ammunition. There's no infantry division that goes without arms and ammunition. And on national television, I want to repeat to Edo people, Comrade Adams Oshomule have been telling us that over time, that they have this infantry division trained and equipped and headed by a commander. And that one of the reasons he had problem with the present government is that those infantry divisions were not properly taken care of. And having said that, and having been told last week here that they will release the tigers and the lion, in less than 4 days, those tigers and lions across the 18 local governments gathered in front of Oba Palace. And what do you expect? When you see a tiger, I'm sure you would have seen a lion. When the lions are gathered, what the other animals, what did they do? They start to run away. And when the lions and the tigers were gathered in front of Oba Palace, at a time and moment when the executive governor of the state, with so many other executive governors, paying a courtesy visit on the respected Oba of Benin, what do you expect? And they did not stop at that. They came with banners and T-shirts and face cap, showing that this is who we are. Our commander have released us, and when an infantry division is released by the commander, you can expect what they want to do. So what happened in front of the Oba Palace on Friday or Saturday was such that Edo people and the press, the fattest set of the realm, must come out. Okay. It is not me that we are passionate, because you saw it, you witnessed it, you had to analyze it. That is the difference between the civilized fattest state in the US than what we have here. Sonny, I've been telling you over time that if Babangida had known that the Nigerian press would behave the way they are today, the man would have ruled forever. All he needed to do was to establish a television station, a pseudo television station, and establish a newspaper like this thing, and begin to use it.
John, let me proceed there. But I just want to say that if you feel that the Nigerian press has not done enough or is not doing enough, just imagine in Nigeria without a free press as much as we have, how the situation would have been. Just the same way some people say, well, we have so many churches and yet there's so much of crime and criminality. Then imagine a world where there are no churches, or imagine in Nigeria where we don't have churches. That's just on the lightest. Let me get by Stakis Omerabo involved here. Is it a dress rehearsal we saw on Saturday in at the gate of the Oba's Palace in the build-up to Edo 2020?
In all honesty, if you know my antecedent, I do people, I am born to be patriotic before any political lineage. I speak the truth, and that's as I know it. My good brother John has spoken about a particular principality that I alluded also crime to. I don't know. As a lawyer, I don't have facts. I will not even say whether it's true or not, because probably I have some facts I don't have privilege to have. As for what you have just asked, what happened in our sacred land, which is the cradle of the old Benin Kingdom, comparing robots, the cars, the Eastern, the feminine, and nobody will support the disconstruction of that land. But who, to identify who, I am not aware of any robber going to steal, who will carry his ID card. I'm not, when I begin to see people wearing card with a particular person, I am reasonable enough to think of sabotage. I'm reasonable enough to think of a make-up. I've seen a lot of people burning down markets in an administration they belong. And just to give a dog a bad name. I'm not saying that will happen, but there's a likelihood. And I also know that as a demonstrator over the years, as for 38 years now I've been on the street demonstrating, I also know that at a certain stage to be hijacked. I also know that people will bring gun and start to rob. There's somebody about armed robbery in the street. That's what we see in our country. So definitely what happened was unfortunate. Whether it was caused by, because people that were there are Edo people. And Oba is the father of all of those, whether in the diaspora here. But again, why did they choose other Oba Palace to do it? That shows that somebody was planning something. To say, hey, go someone will go see Oba and they come beat us there. We are reasonable. We are wise enough to know, yes. We are wise enough to know. Why did it happen in the stadium? Why did it happen all the rallies they have been holding? Why now in Oba's Palace? And I thank Oba's wisdom. He too knows, I know a small boy. So it's a game that played out. I do not want to say it was a plan by no plan. I also know, like for example, as a lawyer, I will never mention name because it's not necessary. It could sue me for libel or slander. But again, let's look at this holistically. If we now begin to think of good administration, bad administration, I do not think there's any political party in Edo State now. No. It's individual. And then the average Edo voter is going to vote for personality, not the party. This one they are discussing. That is not bunch of people. So what do we have now? I have one man whom I sit in one corner, who has been a friend. We contested together for the governorship. I also know how he remains. I won't go into that now. I see him as a friend. I go to him, we talk, I advise the little I can. For me to say after the first 10 days of swearing in, he went to sign death warrant for 20 prisoners, and they were murdered. A thing that Minister of Justice did not even do. I went to him, why would you do this now? He asked me off. After which, the Dakar Parliament demonstrated against NFPC, not against the Edo State. They were arrested and put in local prison. I went back to him again, he warned me. Okay, after that, we went ahead that, to the extent that Edo man was appointed to head the NDDC board. Where is he today? Does that have our interest? Forget this money thing we are saying, no sharing. I don't know sharing money now. How did he get into this PDP? I following all that he has deceived that he was an intellectual, he was a great man. I thought, you know, I fought with Chimola and the rest. But now I'm beginning to think twice. I thought I was following a colleague in arms. What is all this? And for me, if I have 2 years in governance and my people say go, I go. I mean, I'm not even a secretary person. One person I've heard. So to go to the length of all this authorization that a sitting governor said the tax collectors have hijacked him. Can you imagine? My governor, so the tax collectors took money for him, for him to give him a ticket, and we are still pursuing him. The issue is not party, because now let me tell you, when this young was crossing, he brought a lot of PDP members along with him. When the party was crossing, he brought a lot of APC members. They are all tax collectors. You know it. At the end of that day, if some of these people were even talking about have voters card, have collected election over and over, they will just go there and hijack you, take your money. Why will I not sell the candidate who is not just a lawyer, but a dignified man of God, were respected across the board? In fact, he came into a party recently and was other people voluntarily stepped down for him.
Okay.
So I've looked at him holistically. It's a man I support.
All right. Let me bring Pastor Bodyguard in. What are your thoughts? I mean, beginning with that Saturday incident.
In the first place, let me make it clear to Edo people that governance has to do strictly with performance. It is a right of the citizens of a particular square where an individual is governing to expect the dividends of democracy. What happened on Saturday, principally, practically, is an offshoot of non-performance. I must tell you this. I am aware that we as civil society practitioners in the state, even in the days of Oshomole, we have come out to hold the state to ransom on issues we've never been attacked. You're also aware, it's on record, that in this government, EDOSCO came out to carry out a very peaceful protest in the state, but they were attacked in Ring Road with broken hands and legs. It's a state where the kettle is trying to call the pot black and the pot calling the kettle black. Mind you, let us estray what really occurred on Saturday. Any sane mind will know where the arrow is coming from. Quite all right. The governor was coming to the palace. There was booing and other things. But let me chip on that. I'm aware that in the West, during the presidential campaign, Muhammadu Buhari and APC stalwarts were stoned with bottles and other things. What the director of Brigade of Guard did was only to shield the president and other dignitaries from the masses. The president had all the powers to have instructed for guns and other things to be fired. He didn't do it. He knows this is part of the ingredients of politicking. If you don't know that what happened on Saturday is part of the ingredients of politicking, then you are astray in politics. After the governor came in, they were booing and other things, he left. It was after that that probably there was reinforcement somewhere, and you find the shooting and other things, and people collected bullets here and there. You would have known that certainly there is a transferred aggression. Let us begin to look at things critically. Governance must be such geared to give the masses what they expect. Governance must not be coercive. Governance must not be intimidating. I was coming from Adwa, I think about last week. I stopped by Adwa market there. It was about 11 a.m. in the morning. And members of this poor, they were there. I called one of them. I said, these women are shading along the walkway and on the federal road, a trunk A road for that matter. Your principal duty here is to ensure that these women do not trade on such lane.
Supposing it has changed, you don't know.
No, I'm calling.
Their duty has changed.
I know it will change because yesterday I observed it. So they were trading, and I called them. I said, why are you not enforcing the law that permits these women to go beyond the parking lot to trade? He said, Oga, I'm just quoting him before God and my dad. Oga, you know, we will drive them, they will come back. We will drive them, they will come back. So I look at him. I just said something. I said, this is a derailment of governance. It is not about appointing. It is not about policies. Are the policies workable? It's what we should look at as a people. And this must guide the Edo people in casting their vote. This must guide the Edo people in seeing who is who. Like my colleague has just said, that we are looking at the individuals. If you come in and fail, Another man comes in, and the man we have not seen him perform, but the man leading him has performed to some extent. They had the red roof and other things that we know in Edo State, the airport road, the Mamota in Second Junction, the Oliha that was on, the teacher's road that was unaccessible. Yeah. All these antecedents of performance.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let me come to John Yakobo.
Well,
John.
Go on.
Yes.
I am really, when you introduce my friend, because this is my first time of being on set with him.
No, he has his right, John. He has his right.
No, I'm coming. Yes, you introduce him as a pastor that we introduce.
Yeah, dimension to it. That was just on the lighter side.
I think that is right, because what I've realized is that Omo Rabo, who mentioned something about crossing, I'm sure you know him very well, would have crossed over, I don't know the number of times now, or the political party he would have. Because at the time, because there is this seamless crossing. People who you just see today, they are Aro, tomorrow they are speaking in PDP, and they say, no, this is my new abode. And I thank God that he has crossed to APC, because that was not known to us, and it's like we introduced him, he's the campaign chairman for Edo Central.
No, let me not. I'm calling said on air. I am the chairman of the legal committee.
That's what I'm saying now.
The chairman of campaign
for APC.
Yes.
Is it for your former party?
No. Which foreign party, sir?
You contested
governorship on APC, you forgot it.
After that, you contested governorship in so many other areas now.
Okay. Let's not derail. Let's stay on course. Let's stay on course. Let's stay on course. John.
When we say that,
yes.
If you relate us to performance, yes, we will now begin to talk about performance. And to the knowledge of Edo people, I will just mention one thing, because the last election that brought in Obaseki, nobody spoke against Obaseki. All we wanted was that we knew that the man who was selling Obaseki wanted the third tenure. And 2 years into his administration, because he had done very well, the press, you must help us. Go and look at the second year anniversary of Obaseki and how the then national chairman, what he said about him. Please play it to the people of Edo State. Thereafter, don't forget, the battle Obaseki is fighting today is not against Edo people. The battle Obaseki is fighting is against EPN, a section of the APC, who fed consistently and constantly be telling Edo people that this man must give us our share. This man must give up. They've not hidden it from any person. The videos are there, the cassettes are there. And that was the battle the man fought and did not lose focus. We thank God today that he did not lose focus. And at the end of the day, when they discovered that the man was not ready to yield, they say, oh, this man cannot contest other party today. And let me tell you, by the grace of God and by the power of PDP and the OSM, the people of APC that have joined PDP, Obaseki, by the grace of God, is being elected. But I want to tell you this, that Edo people are not stupid. Pastor mentioned airport road. Yes. Airport road is the costliest road in Nigeria.
But it's performing. I
am coming. I didn't. It's because on record. First of all, Adams Oshomole paid 4.5 billion for that road to an unknown contractor, and the man virtually walked away with it. Go to House of Assembly. These are in the budget. And thereafter, he paid close to 7 billion for a road that is less than 8 kilometers without to fly over. And here we are, you have to tell Edo people about airport road. I think you should allow Edo people judge them. You started by saying that what took place in the Oba Palace was about performance. Yes. I want to tell you, do you go prepare with banners? Banners carrying, the banners are there. Karen Osaze, the former chairman of Oredo local government, carrying his banner and t-shirt and caps, and you call that another. And I have to tell you, if you visit markets in Benin and other places, you talk to teachers who have been trained and retrained by this government, or you enter government offices that are now looking like you are in a place in US, they will tell you that they are not prepared to change this government. And I want you to know this, that a section of APC that wanted Obaseki out are the people Edo people are fighting. It's not the whole of APC. You know this, that it is not the whole of APC, because I'm saying this to you because from the way you have talked as a member of a supporting member of the party. So we must be able to separate them and put them in the proper path. No. We must be able to put them in the proper perspective. Now where we are, nobody will want to go back to Egypt. Nobody. Like I said, I worked for about 10 months or thereabout with Comrade Adams Oshomole. What the Edo people are saying again, what they said then, and didn't know that the man had a plan of not selling Edo State out, we will not allow you to have another tenure. What do you think about a man now? Here we are, coming to Edo State to say, all that I told you about my friend were lies. You said the man carried Bible in the morning and a gun for AK-47 in the night. You have not come back to say it's a lie. You said, no, Yakubu who didn't pass primary. I'm Yakubu John Ehwachoma. Anytime I watch that video, I laugh. Yakubu who didn't pass primary, since you want to promote him to university, you are coming out to say it's a lie. You are saying, no, this man poured acid. A gentleman poured acid on the private part of a man. You are coming back to Edo people. It means you should, if at 56 or 60 he was then, you cannot be relied on. You lied on through the campaign. Are you saying now Edo people should believe you? Why must you now be the chief campaigner? Allow the person who is contesting to contest the election. And then again, if I were in the shoes of my former principal, I would take Oshomole to court for lying against me. Because this is a fundamental issue of his life.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Thank you. If you just join us, it's still TMI Monday, x-raying all the different dimensions of the issues dominating Edo 2020 governorship election. And I've got John Yakubu, Pastor Ebode Godwin, and Comrade Barrister Kesley Omerabo on the program. Comrade, let me come to you. Okay. There's a continual reference to the things that were said in 2016 about the major contenders. Now, because you said it's no longer about the political party, but about the individuals. These things, do they have any meaning or any relevance as far as Edo 2020 is concerned? Because John started out on that point.
Thank you so much. See what I said on this program. I will never engage in campaign of calumny. It's too pedestrian. I will not talk about the weakness of an individual, which is normal. Where I have my own weakness. What I want to do is, who is capable of delivering Edo from its present quagmire state? Who is capable among the two? The two are my friends, very close friends. And I have dominated privately. Look, my friend, why would you stop Edo man from me? Even the national chairman. How much did you spend in promoting that thing or removing his money from being national chairman? Look, my friend, God knows I will never campaign for him. But how much did those taxpayers' money was used to prosecute that project? And again, what do we gain if we begin to kill our children because we are quarreling, because we are angry? How did we remove Samson Sagi from the position just because we are quarreling within the house? Not that those statements are going to have it. Not that those statements go to lead on national level. Not that those statements now is going to be chairman of NDDC. These are what bothers me. As for what the individual said in the past election, say I was a part in that election. I knew how he emerged, how Obaseki, my good friend, emerged. And I must tell you something about him. Obaseki is one type of person, you hardly hear him talk. And when he speaks, you run. You see, when in our privacy he calls me and complain bitterly about his principal, I just laugh in one corner. Wasn't not the same thing I was saying at the beginning? And you could say, hey, it's an active, you cannot make him anything. No. Hey. I thought Edo State was their personal project. Now, if a father and son is quarreling, that's not what we should be discussing here. We should discuss issues on who can rule Edo now that will benefit. I'm going to put a man again who tomorrow will appoint John Yakubu if they quarrel, he removes John Yakubu, lock him up, destroy his house, go down hotel. Is that the man who they get? I will not reasonable enough. So we're going to let what of the other man? Somebody told me, Omarabo, Gino is still 700,000. I just laughed. As a lawyer, have you seen the charge sheet? The charge sheet is Yam is not on trial, PDP is on trial. The charge sheet said that Tony and Nenny collected 700 million. And they shared it with 65 million each to each local government chairman. That was charge said though. And that is Yam you are party to this conspiracy. That's what it's been charged for. So why was now calling him a thief? We said when I read the channel, I don't know how they became my friend on Facebook self. This type of human being I see, type of things they say. So I laugh. Now, even for example, he is on trial, he hasn't stolen money, has been convicted. But we know that the major thing was that money was brought in bags in dollars. So if the minister, I got to charge it to, I wasn't there. Yeah. And now they said it. So why are we now saying the old man before he died, was not arrested, was not detained. EFCC saw him. Now, it is even high time they amend that charge removed to anonymous name. He's still there. So when we begin to talk so ignorantly, you mislead the people. Why not tell people the truth? The truth is that, for me, I have come to know Ize-Iyamu very well. I can even tell the assistant here, who is my son, God is closer to me than Ize-Iyamu. But I'm following principles. If I ask, if I have the power of making Ize-Iyamu a governor, will I regret it? No. Okay, let us come to my people, the some people.
I'll come back to that point later because I have two of you here. I'll come back to that point later. But let me get you in here. The question I want to ask you is this: how can we judge people? We can judge people based on the things that they say. If a man says one thing today and says another thing tomorrow on the same issue, what perspective, you as an individual, are you going to have about such an individual?
I'm of the school of thought strongly that in the academic campus, in the university, in the secondary school, in the primary school, when people are being taught in class, the idea that we are going to, where the question you just asked me, is not playable. Because then we are looking at dissemination of information per se. When it comes to politics,
it's permissible.
I'm coming. When it comes to politics, it's a murky water where nothing like the truth comes to play. Nobody that is not fallible in this stand.
Okay.
The present leadership of governance in Edo State also must have also informed Edo people that Gelegele Seaport was going to be developed in the first 1 year. Also informed that electricity, the street lights will continue as it were before this government came in. Also informed the people that jobs over 200,000 jobs will be given to the masses. Let us answer ourselves sincerely, both physical and spiritually. Are there fulfillment? This is why you see I said earlier that these are transfer aggression, what you saw that day. The situation is clear. Politicians are not truthful to themselves. Politicians lie on oath. You just saw what transpired in the National Assembly. We are offshoot of this thing politically. As a nation and as a people, if you are in Britain, the question you've just answered is not playable. You would have been taken up legally. But in Nigeria, it's part of the gongo and pepper soup of our system.
so Pastor Bode, you're saying that those who said SYZ in 2016, and they are saying, we shouldn't take them serious, which means they are liars.
No, I want to come in here.
Okay.
What transpired there was just painting white so that I could sit here. If my opponent is coming, I paint it black so that if he lies down there, he's stained and he goes out crying.
Which is tantamount to lying.
Lying, they were all lying, both parties.
Okay.
I'm aware that the head of also the PDP then also told us that what they are coming to do now, that this man has not got certificate. They even went to court.
Okay.
But the same party that went to court today, that same party the man has gone to.
Okay.
And the same, you say this is, like I told you, it's a murky system. Okay. Don't take them serious.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Let me get John in here. John,
I want to give it to, yes. I have so many issues to
No, of course, I would allow that.
One
yes.
against two.
Yes.
No, not one against two.
No, go on.
I'm speaking as a neutral person.
Yes, go on, John. I got you on.
Now, I will first of all quickly take the issue back to when Omo Erabo said those who went to boo the governor were recruited by PDP, that he is an activist, he knows that well, that they were recruited by PDP or by the governor to come and boo him.
I didn't put it like that. So
no, he said those were organized by the party,
he said there's a possibility. Yes, there's a probability. Yes. Okay, now you have the floor. Yes, you have the floor.
It's a possibility that it was organized.
Yes.
You organize people to come and insult you. Why I'm going to take this.
No, John, go ahead.
I had the opportunity of talking with Omo Erabo on this program for so many times.
Yes.
And that is funny. Very funny from a man, a barrister and all that, sitting together here to have brought that out. Number two, I want to quickly look at the issue which you asked which the pastor has refused to answer.
No, I answered.
No, just hold on. Let him respond.
He asked a straightforward question. If a man comes here today and tell you Sonny Duke is a thief, tomorrow he come back to tell you Sonny Duke is not a thief, next tomorrow he come to tell you that Sonny Duke has taken his wife, do you regard things coming out from that man as honest? You agree that he's a liar?
All of them are liars.
I did this. Sonny Duke didn't ask you of all of them. He asked a specific question, and you dodged the specific question and saying all of them. That is, we are talking to Edo people, yes, and Edo people are listening to us.
Yes, of course.
And I want you as a pastor to please, when issues like this come to your domain, people bring matters to settlement.
I'll tell you blunt.
No, when people bring matter to the church for settlement, don't say all of you are sinners.
If he has stolen before, I'll tell him. Christ said, who amongst you?
He has a floor. Okay, he becomes.
You want me to listen to you, and I didn't interfere. So I want to tell you that that question by Sonny Duke must be answered in the proper perspective.
No, you won't tell me how to answer questions.
Pastor,
I didn't say you should answer that way. I'm only saying that we should answer it. I am going to put an answer to that.
Yes.
That I will not allow a man who said yesterday that I rather than carry Bible in the afternoon and carry gun in the night. These are not ordinary words. These are not just mere politicking. These are deep-seated statements made by people in authority to a defenseless individual. That was my election. I was campaigning for that election. We never said a word against Obaseki. None. You can play back you can play. All we were saying was that Obaseki was not contesting. Listen, you didn't contest that election. I contested that election. Our campaign to Edo people and the supporters was that Comrade Adams Oshomole, knowing and believing who he thinks Obaseki is, want to use him for a third tenure. That was the point of our campaign. And unfortunately, they voted for him. Fortunately for Edo people, the man did not play their game. And 2 years into that, an association in APC came out and said, look, we are EPM, this man is not giving us money, he's not a politician, for that reason, we will not allow him to go. That is what played out in Edo State. Number 3, you mentioned there is no government that can employ 200,000 people. Please, when people speak, technocrat like the governor of the state, when he speaks, please listen. A man said he was going to provide an enabling environment for 200,000 people to be employed. But no government in Nigeria, state government in Nigeria can employ 200,000 people. He didn't say that. And I want to tell you that since Obaseki came to power, by the grace of God, the number of my staff, personal staff of the company that I have increased from 15 to 48. That is because enabling environment have been provided. And that's what the man said. And by the grace of God, he's doing that, making sure that roads are there, making sure that electricity will be improved. And that takes me to the other issue you raised, the light. Honestly speaking, before Obaseki crossed to APC, PDP, anytime I pass through the ocean about electrification, I ask myself, am I in Benin or I'm in US? Let's be realistic. Sonny, you can take your camera to that place to view it and show the people after this program. If we have had that light 10 years ago, by now I don't think we would have had 24 hours of light supply. Now the man is doing that so that industries will work, so that employment can be provided. If not for the small hitch in letter writing and taking off light by BEDC, the testing of that light would have started by last Monday. And that is the kind of project that the Edo people are looking up to. So when a man in less than 4 years could give additional supply of light to Edo people, what the federal government could not do, a state government is doing it. Even when I was in the PDP and was still in APC, honestly speaking, Sonny, you can go back to records. For the past 4 years, whether I have been on this television criticizing the governor of the state. Because you don't just open your mouth to begin to criticize people because you are in the other party. This is a man, for 8 years, Oshomole promised Ekpoma people that impossible road, that he was going to do it. The flag off was associated with campaigns and others. But for 8 years, not half of the kilometer was done. When Obaseki came, he called the contractor. He said, the cost of this road is too high. I will do this road, but the cost implication is too high. I will call consultants to reduce the cost because I know that the cost at which we are giving is too high. For 6 months, they negotiated. They brought down the cost, and the man agreed, Sonny, take your camera to that road in Ekpoma. Sonny, take your camera to Ambrosali University. What are we talking about? Sonny, take your camera to technical school. So when people start to talk about issues and not performance, I begin to wonder, is this secondary? Is this secondary? Or that was the first impression? Because the impression we got from EPM, I want to repeat, from EPM, not all the APC members, from EPM about 2 years ago, which they publicly told the people that this man had not allowed us to begin to harass market women, did not allow us to begin to make money from the street. Let me give you an example, and I will pause there while you go on. When I was chairman of the council, Oredo was zero allocation. You remember? Anytime I come here to discuss local government issue, Oredo will come crying. That was because the internally generated revenue was going into the hands of few persons. Today, Pastor, that same local government have a generation of internally generated revenue of over 100 million naira every month. And that was the money that went into private pocket and they started celebrating billions. What are we talking about? We must rescue Edo people from the hands of godfathers who believe that they must connect a pipe to the ports of Edo people to begin to take
thank you, John. Thank you, John. We'll just take a few calls. 052-290-573. I believe we'll have some time to take just some few calls. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name? Tell us your name. Where you're calling from. Please turn down the audio level on your TV.
This is Ojugo calling from ACCO.
All right, go ahead, Ojugo.
I want to thank my gentleman there, but I want to say something to the pastor, because at least in politics, I don't think it's proper for us to be biased. That we see something that is right and we say something is not right. Like the way the pastor is speaking, and if I happen to be his member, this very moment, I will move myself out of his ministry. I'm telling you the truth.
Oh, I don't want us to get personal with the panelists. Just go straight to the issue, please. Thank you.
Okay. I want to tell you that by the grace of God, I'm not a Benin. I'm from Delta State. I want to tell you that no matter what happens with what we are seeing today.
Oh, we lost that. Yeah.
Because I reside in this state. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name?
That is street.
Hello, my brother. My name is Wosa Agamoyi.
Okay, Wosa, go ahead, please.
I have enjoyed your program so far.
Thank you.
Let's look at performance.
Thank you.
I've listened to the production from the discussion. I want to ask them, this governor has been on seat for 3 years, 8 months. What happened to Ekiadolo College under his watch?
Okay.
They promised it was a university of education, but they failed to license that school with NUC for 3 years, 8 months.
Okay.
The workers there, they have been in pain. Recently, the governor said we owe them not a dime. That's for the Ekiadolo. Now, haven't brought that school down. What happened to the economy of that village and the surrounding community? Now, I live in Ekiadolo. What happened to Igualaki? A school that had written final exam for HND. The government closed down that school. Forgot the investment of parents in the children from ND1 to HND2. And now, what was the effect of that school on the economy of that locality? The workers went to court, industrial court. They got judgment. And the judgment was that reinstate these workers back.
Okay.
Their salary.
Okay.
And don't say government. Hold on, please.
Yeah, we are pressed for time. We are pressed for time. We're taking the break now.
Okay.
Just anchor the point. Anchor the point.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Hello, caller. Good morning. Good morning. Yes. What's your name and where you calling from? Be quick and be brief, please.
I'm Ojinelsi calling from Epoma, Edo State.
Yes, Ojinelsi, go ahead, please.
Yes. I actually want to commend you for your program.
Thank you.
We are actually seeing your handwork.
Thank you.
The way you are trying to move Edo State forward.
Thank you.
We are applauding you.
Thank you, sir.
The last man that just spoke.
Yes.
I want to commend that man.
Okay.
That man has eyes. The man on meeting, the man has eyes. I'm watching you on TV now.
Okay.
The man has eyes. If you check the past government, the past administration, I'm not insulting anybody. I don't belong to any political party. I'm a young graduate. I just graduated. You understand? That man has eyes. If you want the past government, how can somebody who said is a leader go to the other side and say you need to check what other people are suffering
Okay.
We are aware that somebody said that you want to be like that. That means the person is saying to a woman, you want to be like them. So I don't give you rules that are complaining.
All right. I need to pause you here. Because we're taking a short break. It's the TMI. It's the TMI Monday. We'll take a short break. We'll be back to call it a wrap on the program. Please don't go away. Please stay with us.
TMI. Every opinion counts.
Okay. Thanks again for staying with us. Just on the verge of concluding TMI for today. A whole lot of people have been trying to get to us on the program, but we have to take a short break. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name?
Good morning.
Yes.
My name is Mrs. Aledo. I'm calling from Benin.
Mrs. Edo calling us from Benin. Yes, go ahead, please.
Please, there is something I want to ask that pastor, bishop, you call him.
Yeah, pastor.
Okay, why are you biased? We can see in Edo State the developmental stripe of the governor. This is not a matter of talking too much. Come September, we are wiser. Everybody is seeing it. Even the blind can see. Conscience. It's not a matter of gathering talks in the palace of the Benin monarch. That is the height of disrespect in the. How can they go and gather their talks in the palace to go and permit trouble? This is a state where good state authorities are being respected. They know that the sitting governor of the state will be there on that day. When is it that particular day that APC and their talks went to gather themselves in front of the palace?
There's no evidence to buttress the fact that the thoughts are APC members.
We have evidence. We saw their cars.
Okay.
We saw their cars.
Okay.
We saw their banners. We saw the banners of Captain Osakumba. Even the blood can see. We should call a spade. I know it's more wiser. They shouldn't come here and fool like people.
Okay.
One man came on stage and told us that Pastor Sage Zayamu is a thief. Today is still. And are we fools?
All right. Let me pause you there and try and avoid calling names, just to avoid any libelous action. All right. All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you. It's the TMI. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name?
Good morning. My name is Honorable Sir Ezehi MD Igbas.
Okay, Igbas, go ahead. We're listening to you.
Thank you very much, Tony. Well, I don't really have much to say, but just to comment Honorable Yakubu.
Okay.
He has said it all. You see, the truth is bitter. I will not say it. I, as a former legislator in Edo State, in fact, during our time, just a year ago, when we saw the policies of Obaseki, most of us, it is on record that we antagonized Adam Soshomole until the last day he left. But when Obaseki came in, you saw what happened. In fact, there were still things that he initiated, that he actually touched my heart. And I said to myself, this is a good man. This man means so well for our state. The only reason I must tell you the truth, as someone who knows these people are ambassadors to open God, to open himself, open whatever of those states to all these persons. Those who want to benefit without working, they are the ones fighting Obaseki. Those, if you check the policies of this government, now let me tell you, look at the CDA bill.
Yes, just be brief, Igbas, so that we can quickly call it to wrap. Yes, thank you.
Edo State has been sanitized. You can now go buy a land without being harassed. Before now, you buy one land and 10 people will come out and sell it again.
Okay, thank you, Igbas. Thank you. Thank you, Igbas. Let me get Sonny Yadosa. Sonny, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning. Good morning.
If you notice the way everybody is contributing,
yes,
you can still draw the line that everybody is supporting their own.
Oh, sure.
So it becomes very wrong for you to say a pastor, is biased, and yet another one is calling to comment Mr. Yakubu. Is it not also drawing line there? I think the only way Edo can make progress. Everybody has their supporters.
Okay.
And in politics, for example, take America for example, a wife may support Democrat, while the husband is supporting a Republican. I hope you remember, because you are becoming a veteran, how they stole former George Bush, the president of America. Heaven did not fall. And just let us establish that in democracy, interest will always play out. What I want the two parties to do and their supporter is to condemn what happened at the palace of the Oba of the Knee.
Okay.
So without those stop you from supporting who you want to support, they don't come and force everybody to believe what Obaseki is doing, or force everybody to believe Isamu is the best. Everybody will always draw the line that I support Isamu, I support Obaseki. And at the end of the day, everybody will decide who will make it. Then to start saying that the person is biased, the person does not have interest, or the person does not have interest.
Okay, Sonny, I'll push you there.
Everybody will take the role of a pastor, but in the studio there, he has his own interest. So don't condemn him. Everybody should keep their life.
It's all right, Sonny Godus. I want to pause you there because we are pressed for time. Thank you. All right, let me come to our panelists now. Barrister Kingsley Omorabo, you'll be following the response from our callers. What does this mean for you in terms of participation in EDO 2020?
Thank you. You see, sometimes when I speak, people expect what will come out from the mouth of Omorabo. But I tell you, I am so on the ground that I know most things. Sometimes you may not take this, that this who we call have been arranged before we started.
Thank you.
Yes! Somebody have arranged and I will call you.
No,
yeah, take this phone. Maybe you have been the first to call. And this is what you are seeing. It's unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate. When I hear people, look at Iqbal who was in the house. Now he forgot that we are now having a sword to the Edo State, no house of assembly. And we are making laws. And the governor said if you are less than 24, that house is not avoided. And we are forgetting that. And why I'm even happy with everybody is PDP now that's praising the achievement of APC. Thank God. So if it was the other way, if Obaseki was still considered APC and Mr. was considered PDP, with all this banter coming, where it is now a PDP that is advertising what APC has done over the years. I'm happy about it. So at least we have removed the wounds from my eyes and being factual now. Okay. So it's unfortunate.
Okay. Yes.
What I want to say principally is this. Let us not allow the wool of political differences to cover our vision as a people. Projects are physical. I one time wrote that the water fountain in Ring Road has died. If you go to Ring Road, is water fountain working? No. I wrote, School of Nursing down. Is School of Nursing down? Yes. School of Health Technology down. Is it down? Yes. Ekeadolo could not operate. Is he operating? No. Gele Seaport is not there. Is Gele Seaport there? No. What are we saying? Some of these persons callers, most of them are paid political assassins.
Yes.
Who just come to call because they want to be aired to fulfill the paymaster. Nothing more. Okay. The truth is that I will appeal to this government that these infrastructures I have just called, with particular reference to power, they should allow them work. The markets and the roads should not be converted to market square any longer. Okay. Thank you.
All right. John, yeah.
Well,
what do you make of the calls, first and foremost?
I want to thank the callers for calling and also the response from my two good friends here who are in support of APC.
That you politicians arrange those calls. You arrange those calls to call.
That's where I want to start from. It's unfortunate that my friends agree with themselves that those things are arranged. And in this era of technology, you see the number of calls coming from over 50 people. So the Jew just points, as the one is finishing, he's just taking the next one without looking at. In short, the names are not even stored. There's no way Sonny Duke will know who is calling on this ITV phone. So how will it be arranged for people outside to now call, and these are the calls taken by Sonny Duke? I think I will help you. I will excuse them. I will apologize for that because we are live on air.
Yes.
There are certain things we should not say so that the people will not be deluded about things like this. Now, I want to quickly go on the issue of Ekeadolo. I'm happy for talking about Ekeadolo. I was one person. Go back to your records, and you find out that when Oshomole gave a Greek gift to the Edo South by way of saying the Kadola was Taya Apata University, I told them it will not work. The man did not budget one kobo. I cried in my heart. The man did not budget one kobo for the 4 years that university was just by the name. Rather, he spent billions to establish the school in front of his house. Now, let me tell you, Sonny, no state in Nigeria, not even Edo State, can finance 3 universities. It's not possible. Why do we come here to begin to talk about the Kadolo closed down? It should, how? The man want to bring the Kadolo back. The man said, look, I am not bringing the Kadolo back the way it was. For the lecturers here, go to places like this so that you'll be absorbed into government offices. They said, no, they are not going. The man went to a Kadolo, renovated the Kadolo, and brought in the federal government. And as we speak today, a Kadolo is now a federal college of education. You saw it yourself. And by the next academic session, that will take up because of COVID-19, no institution is working in Nigeria, but they have officially come to take it over. If you go to Oriomo, he went there and Sonny, please take your camera because that is why you are there. Go to the College of Education in Oriomo, the headquarters of Oriomo local government. Go and find out the massive job that will be done by the governor to take charge of all the colleges of education in Edo State so that we can have good teachers. So when people start talking about a Kadolo, I laugh. A man killed a Kadolo for the benefit of his people. And the South Senatorial District are not to see that. They are blinded to the fact that, oh, Taya Apata University, that was never established, that was never approved. And here we are, sitting with a pastor and with my friend, and with the people referring to that Kadolo, here we are embellishing it. That is wrong, so that we don't begin to throw stones to a man who on his own is trying to make sure that standard, not just education, standard education is established.
Gentlemen, my time is up. As you know, the issues will continue to evolve even as we get closer to the election proper. But this is where we draw the curtains on this segment of the show. I want to say big thanks to Pastor Kisle Morabo.
Thank you, and my people, take the destiny of your life.
Pastor Ibude Godwin, thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you,
And John Yakubu, thank you so much for coming on the program.
God bless you.
But let me say here that once our studio line is open, there's no way you can tell who is going to call. I mean, if you look at it now, you're going to see.
But I didn't say you were selecting.
No, hold on. I know. So I just want to make that clarification. You just see the number, and then once you okay it, and then the person starts talking. But in a sense, everything is possible. I mean, just like the pastor said, in politics, everything and anything is possible. I mean, lying is part of the game.